Hey guys, what's up? LJS here with another deck profile. Yay! This time I'll be doing a deck profile on Dauntless Drive Dragon. I'm kidding. It's Hyakki Vogue Reverse from the Murakumo clan. So Murakumo clan is another clan that is a bit underrated and less used. But it's a pretty fun clan, and for those of you who don't know, Murakumo is essentially a Naruto clan. Yes, a clan about shinobis, ninjas, and samurais. And they use a technique called Kage Bunshin no Jutsu. In case you guys don't know, it's or don't watch Naruto, it's Kage Bunshin no Jutsu means Shadow Clone Jutsu or Shadow Clone Technique. So essentially, Murakumo revolves around cloning themselves or cloning units from the deck into the field, and then at the end of the turn it goes back in the deck. So essentially, Murakumo focus on attacking without actually having to commit to the field. So it's a sort of rush deck. And for those of you who haven't noticed or realized, having units going back into the deck means that Murakumo works pretty well against Ring Joker and burning clans like Kagura and Narukami, because if they go back in the deck, you have nothing to lock or nothing to kill. Yeah. So for this deck, with set 14, Murakumo gets a new boss, Hyakki Vogue Reverse. So this deck focuses around Hyakki Vogue Reverse, and it's fun play style. It's actually a very fun deck, this deck. You know, you push your opponents with big numbers. So set 14 also introduces the Break Ride for Murakumo. So you have this guy supported by the Break Ride. And in this deck you have units, cloning units, such as the new Demonic Hair Stealth Rogue Grenjin. Demonic Hair, that's a weird name. And units like Stealth Beast Million Red and Stealth Fiend Orboro card. And you have a really special card, the Stealth Beast Metamorfox, which is very crucial in this deck, which I'll explain later. So with the general premise out of the way, let's get to the deck profile. So first, this is my friend's deck as well, so yeah, it's not my deck, so this is his build. So first we have the boss, the new reverse card for Murakumo, which is Hyakki Vogue Reverse. So his skill is, let me get focus. So choose 2 of your Murakumo rear guards and lock them. Then choose up to 3 of your Covert Demon Dragon Hyakki Vogue Reverse, and those unit gets 10k at the end of turn. So essentially, you want to have 3 of him in front, then you lock 2 units, and they all get 10k. Whoops, not focused. Yeah. So yeah, lock 2. All of them get 10k, so everyone is swinging for 21k. So yeah, so that is Hyakki Vogue Reverse skill. And also his secondary skill is when this unit is placed on Vanguard circle, so when you ride him, you can counterblast 2, and then you can search your deck for 1 card named Covert Demonic Dragon Hyakki Vogue Reverse, call it to R, shuffle your deck, and at the end of turn, put it into your hand. So essentially, when you ride him, he's a self-cloner. So you can ride, call himself out to rear guard circle, and end of turn he comes back into your hand. So it's really good because it comes back into your hand, which means you can use it again next turn and use his locking skill to attack again. And being that it comes back into your hand means that your opponent can't lock it or kill it or attack it. So it's good. Yeah. So next you have the 4 Break Rides. This Break Ride is actually very crucial for this deck because it works very well with Hyakki Vogue Reverse. So his skill is, when the Vanguard rides on it, you can pay the cost, which is counterblast 1. If you do, your Vanguard gets 10k, and you can choose 2, look with your deck for up to 2 cards with the same name as your Vanguard, and call them to separate R. Then shuffle your deck, at the end of a turn, put them into your hand. So as you can see, he, basically, when you Break Ride Hyakki Vogue on him, okay, you can counterblast 1, and call 2 more of himself, basically clone 2 more of himself from the deck onto rear guard. So the Break Ride is very important to help initiate your 21k attacking column after you lock 2. So as you can see, it synergized well with the new boss Hyakki Vogue Reverse, and another good bonus is that at the end of the turn it comes back into your hand. Not in the deck, but into your hand, which is very good because now these 2 units are not on your field, because if it's on your field, you can bet that your opponent will try to kill it or lock it because they don't want it to power up and attack it for 21k. So Having it come into your hand is good because next turn you can call it out again to push for 21k after locking 2 units. So yeah, good skill. So also, let's just say you break right and 3 of your Hyakki Vogue reverse happens to be in a deck. Break right skill, clone. His skill, counterblast 2, come out here, lock it. Then yeah, so that way you can have all four out and ready to be used to attack your opponent and with powerful power. Yeah. So next for the grade 2, we run 4 Stealth Beast Bloody Mist, the vanilla for this deck. The vanilla is quite important in this deck because most of your boosters, which you will see later, are 6k boosters. So you want a 10k with 6k booster to make 16k column. So 10 is recommended. Let's say 4 10k boosters is recommended. So next, he runs 4 of this weird name guy, the Demonic Hair Stealth Rogue Grenjin. So he's a self-cloner. So basically, when the attack hits a Vanguard and he's boosted by Murakumo, if you have Murakumo Vanguard, you can pay the cost of counterblast 1. If you do, search your deck for up to 1 of him, call it to R, shuffle your deck, and at the end of turn, put him back at the bottom of your deck. So yeah, call him out, shuffle your deck, put him at the bottom. So he stays at the bottom. So essentially, he's a pressure card because he pressures your opponent to guard. If not, you can clone and lock him out and attack again, and that guy disappears. So as I mentioned earlier, cloning is good because when it goes back into your deck, your opponent has nothing to lock or kill. Preferably, I wouldn't run him. I would prefer to run what's his name, the Midnight Crow, but I don't have him now because it's not easy to find. He's a, I think, double R from an old set. Midnight Crow is essentially slightly better than him, but he's AK based. So when Midnight Crow skill is when you call him, you can counterblast 1 and clone himself to another Vanguard circle. So a lot more consistent in terms of cloning, but slightly lower power and less pressure, I guess. But yeah, it works. Yeah, I'll explain later why Midnight Crow might be preferable. So next, he runs 2 of this guy, the Stealth Beast White Mane. Basically, he's an unflipper, so when he hits the Vanguard, he can unflip a counterblast. So this deck can be quite counterblast heavy with all the cloning and all the cloning. So you would like to actually unflip damage to use it again. But we've only managed to find 2, so preferably he would actually run 3 or 4 of him, but this is all he could get. If he could have find more, definitely run 4 because you want unflip damage. So for the last one, he runs this random guy, which is the Stealth Beast Chain Geek. Geek? Chain Geek, hard lols. So his skill is that if your number of Murakumo regards is 4 or more, he gets 3k, so it's 11k attacker. We don't really want to run him. We prefer to actually run this guy because this guy can't flip damage, but he's just there for space wise, just to fill up the grade 2s. So with that up, with the grade 2s out, we have grade 1s. So for grade 1s, he runs 2 perfect guards and 2 quintet walls. Ideally, we actually want to run 3 perfect guards and 1 quintet wall because I'll explain later. But the thing is, he couldn't find perfect guards, so he only ran 2. But ideally, you want 3 and not 2 quintet walls. Because you only want one quintet wall because quintet wall is a bit more situational. You only use him in dire situation because you don't want to actually use him too often because you may actually end up calling units that you need to clone into the Granite Circle and they all go to the drop zone and you can't use them. So we also want to avoid calling Hyakki Vogue, your boss, into the Granite Circle and then dying for no reason because you actually want him on the field to attack because his skill powers himself up and clones of himself. So yeah, quintet walls only for dire situations and when you really need it because possible units like this clone himself. So if they all come out in the Gauntlet circle and they go into the drop zone, you have none left in the deck, you can't clone himself. So yeah, that's one weakness with this. Next we have 4 million rats. Stealth Beast Million Rat. His skill is the same as Midnight Crow, but I don't have Midnight Crow, so his skill is when it's placed on V or R, you can counterblast 1. If you do, search your deck for another of him, call it to R, and shuffle your deck. At the end of the turn, or beginning of end phase, put him at the bottom of the deck. So this is useful because you can get free boosters. So essentially, if you have Midnight Crow, so if you have Midnight Crow, you can actually call him, clone Midnight Crow, and then you can call Minion Red, call Minion Red. So now you have almost full field, you can attack, and they both go back in the deck. Zoom. So you can actually have 2 full columns without actually having to commit from your hand, if you have Midnight Crow, but oh well. But he's also, Minion Red is also useful because basically you get sort of free boosters for that round. So one trick you can do is you can actually call this, clone himself again. So you have 3 boosters in that turn for counterblast of 2 and just calling 1 unit out. Then these 2 go back in the deck. So, yeah. And when that happens, your Link Joker friend or your Kagura friend, Narukami friend will be banging their heads because they have nothing to lock or kill. Next, another key card is Stealth Beast Metamorfox. He's the promo card for the unlocking campaign. So what his skill is, when it's placed on R, you can unlock a card. You may wonder, why would I want to use this? It's only useful against Link Jokers. Not really. I will show you later how this works. This is a very key card, a little trick you can play with. Lastly, for grade 1, he runs 2 Orboro card. So he's also another cloner. So when this guy is placed on the Vanguard or R, if you have a Murakumo Vanguard, you can counter +1. If you do, choose another rearguard not named Orboro card. Search your deck for him, clone him out to R, shuffle your deck. At the end of beginning of end phase, put that unit called with this effect into the deck. So he is basically a cloner, but not himself, he clones something else. So it's useful for cloning and getting, you know, units out and back in the deck for almost free. Yeah. So 2. Of course, you can swap him out for the grade 1 8k vanilla, because 8k vanilla might be better because all this is only 6k booster. But generally you don't need boosters for this because most of them will be locked for his skill. So it doesn't really matter. So for triggers, it's a bit funny. You guys might be surprised. You guys might actually even laugh and say, why would you do that? But it's all for a reason. He runs 12 stands. Yes, my friends, 12 stands. And 4 heals. No crit, no draw, because this deck is sort of a rush deck and it clones itself and it goes back in the deck. So you want to have as many attacks off of those free units as possible, and you know, you don't have to actually commit your hand. So with the deck, oh wait, I forgot the starter. Starter, we run the grade 3 guy, grade 3 searcher. Counter +1, put in the soul, look for top 5 for grade 3, because the break right, as I said, is very crucial, because if you don't get the break right, this whole deck sort of doesn't work as well and it sort of falls apart. Yeah. So with the general idea out of the way, let's talk about the details of some of the combos you can do and how this deck runs, because this deck is actually quite a fun deck. It's not exactly the strong, it's relatively strong if you can pull off the break right and if you can pull off the Hyakki Vogue reverse skill, but there can be consistency issues with this deck. But in any case, it's still fun, you know, especially if you run 12 stands and your opponent's like, what? Stand? What? Stand? Oh no. So now I'll explain why would you want to run Metamorfox, because now the unflipper, the unlocker, because you may think it's only useful against Link Jokers, but I can tell you it is very useful in this deck. So let's just say you have a break right, then you have, let's say you have Million Red. Okay, let's give the most ideal situation to play with. So let's just say you have 4 of the unlockers in your hand, and you have this guy in your hand as well, and maybe some other random units. Let's say this guy in your hand. Okay. Let's say then you break right. Clone 2 Hyakki Vogue reverses out. Ba-dum. Then maybe you, and then maybe you use counter +2 and call another of him out here. Okay. Next. Sorry, maybe you don't do that. Maybe you already have him in your hand. Okay, next, what you do is you call this guy out. Counter +1, clone himself. For free, sort of, you have 2. Then you use Hyakki Vogue reverse skill. Lock 2. 10k, 10k, 10k. Next, you call Metamorfox out. Unlock 1. Then you call another Metamorfox out. Die. Unlock another one. Then you use his skill again. Lock 2. Then you can once again call another Metamorfox out. Unlock. And let's say you do it again. You call another Metamorfox out. Unlock. Then you can actually lock 2 again and use his skill again. So in this turn you can actually use his lock 2 skill 3 times. So now you have 41k, 51k, 41k. Now isn't that insane? And you have one more booster to use. So this is going to be 47k. Yeah. Bet you guys. Yeah. So yeah, it's pretty cool. It's a pretty nice combo, although you probably won't go that YOLO, because if you have 4 and you want to YOLO, you just do that, because you actually be burning a lot of cards. But typically, normally what you do is, on the back right turn, you probably just only do this, and you just lock 2, and attack for 21, 31, 21. Then they bounce back, unlock, unlock. Next turn, you call them out again, lock 2, call out one out, lock 1, lock 2 more. So now your whole front row is 31k. And that's where the stand comes in handy. You attack, attack, attack. Let's say you get stand trigger. What's next? Ooh, another stand trigger. Now they both will be attacking for 36, which can be hell of annoying. So this deck is really fun because you'll be pushing with big numbers with Hyakki Vogue reverse, and if you have stands, you'll be whacking them with 31 and 41k's non-stop. And let's say if you use my unlocking trick of pulling off his skill, let's say twice, they'll be attacking for 3 times. You put off the lock skill 3, or maybe even 4 times. I think 4 is possible. I think so, yeah. 4 times. You can even attack, let's say, for 51k each, which is hilarious. Your opponents will be face palming and crying as their hands slowly drain and they die. So yeah. So some other tricks you can talk about is, let's say you have, let's just assume you have Stealth Crow, okay? And with Stealth Crow, you actually would want to have a vanilla, which let's assume this is vanilla and this is Stealth Crow, because 8k with 8k makes 16k, which is pretty good. So you call Stealth Crow, counterblast 1, clone himself, Stealth Crow again. Then you call the 8k vanilla, call Oboros, clone the 8k vanilla. Now you have 2 16k columns, and this column can disappear back into the deck without using up your hand. Yeah, so which is pretty good. So this deck, the weakness of this deck can be that if you don't get your break right, it sort of loses its power, because the break right actually helps you actually get your Hyakki Vogue reverses out into the field and then back in your hand. Because if you don't have your break right, you must then rely on slowly drawing into your Hyakki Vogue reverses, which depends on luck. So if you have a bad day, no Hyakki Vogue reverse. If you have a good day, you have all 3 in your hand, which if you are lucky. So yeah, and also without break right, if you call them out, they will stay on the field, and your opponent will definitely kill it or lock it or whatever. So with the break right, it's actually very helpful because it allows you to have 2 confirmed turns of pulling off Hyakki skill, unless of course your opponent locks your back row. So yeah, which in that case you must use him to unlock. So yeah, that's the... Also, if your Hyakki push doesn't work, eventually, you know, it loses steam, because your opponent will actually try to kill it, and once it dies, you essentially have nothing else to push with, because Hyakki Vogue reverse is very reliant on himself. And let's say, for example, you damage check Hyakki Vogue reverse 2 of them, then essentially you lose 1 more column of power, which is really sad. So yeah, so this is a very fun deck. It's also a pretty strong deck if you can pull it off properly, because you get to push with 31, 31, 31 non-stop, and your opponent will be pulling their hair out if you get stand triggers non-stop. You can attack and push and kill their hands. So yeah, so this is deck profile for Hyakki Vogue reverse. This has been LJS. Any suggestions or comments, please comment down below. Like the video, subscribe for more content, and I'll see you guys next time.